Tell me, though, what's his technique? That last strike, it seems invincible.
Hello and welcome to Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist podcast. My name is Connor McKenna.
And I am Karl Stout.
Yep, Karl's back.
Yay. And there was much rejoicing.
To many people's rejoice and some people, one person's disgust. But...
What?
It's Rebecca, not me, I swear.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But yeah, no,
At least I know why they call Danny a half-breed, okay?
Wow. Yeah. So, it's been, we didn't put an episode out last week because the show came out and we didn't have time to record before the show came out. You know, we're not going to record while the show's out because we want to watch it. That's guys. Right. Yeah, so... The show came out, yeah. So I guess we'll give spoiler-free thoughts since people probably want to know what we think anyway. I liked it.
I also was shocked how much I enjoyed it. Because I was going in expecting to completely hate it. And that did not happen. I honestly don't know what those critics watched. Especially because they only had the first 6. And... I did not, I mean, it was called story building. It's, it's something reality TV doesn't do anymore. So
yeah,
I don't know if they're not used to that fact of actually building a plot and story and character development. So you know these people before you realize what evil they can commit. But I had pretty much no issue. They still managed to do the same stuff. They just didn't do it the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really about all I'm going to go into it on this show, because this is not the show about the shows. And I also found it hysterical that Ward Meacham sounded exactly 100% like Fox Mulder to the point where I kept expecting to call his sister Scully. I think my wife was even in the other room once going, I thought you were watching Iron Fist. Why are you watching X-Files?
Wow. I didn't even notice, actually.
Dude, it's like dead on.
I guess next time I watch it, I'll have to, yeah.
But I've come back from the dead to review Iron Fist #1.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll go a bit more into the show too. Sorry, someone's just messaging me, so I'm just going to tell them I'll be away for a bit. Hang on.
People, they suck. Connor's so popular. It's all the Iron Fist chicks.
Okay, so yeah. I agree with you, Karl. I mean, I didn't even think, there was a lot of story building in the first 6 episodes, but I still thought a lot happened in the first 6 episodes. I don't get, I feel like, I guess, the critics, or people that haven't read Iron Fist are fully expecting something a lot different to what the first 6 episodes were. I thought the first 6 episodes were fine. I thought they were faithful to the spirit of the comic. And, and then I guess the other complaints, people who read, because a lot of people who want to read up on Iron Fist probably read Immortal Iron Fist. Mm-hmm. And if they're expecting that in the first 6 episodes, they're not going to get that either. They're going to get mystery, intrigue with the Meachams, stuff like that, which is prevalent in the original series. They just put a lot more emphasis on that. And I really enjoyed it because I love that stuff anyway. I love David Wenham was the standout of the show for me. No surprises there. He was really good. Well, he was one of the standouts, I should say. David Wenham is Harold Meacham, that is. And Ward, he really surprised me as well. He was great in the show.
Oh, yeah.
I think
his regression, I will call it, was excellent.
Yeah. I've besides like, besides Colleen, I think, like, people pretty unanimously like Ward in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I am 100% on board with Finn Jones, Danny Rand. I think he nails the character, especially the show's version of the character, which is a bit different to the comics, but not as much as you'd think. It ends up being pretty similar.
Now,
but yeah, I think he nails the character.
I want the listeners to understand that we both do not think this is 100%, roses. We both have our issues, but again, we're not going to get into it right now, right here.
Yeah, because the issues involve spoilers.
Exactly.
And I thought the fights were fine. I mean, they could have been better, but they're nowhere near as bad as everyone's saying. There's like one fight, I think in the third episode, which isn't very good, but all the others I've really enjoyed. So, yeah, if you were on the fence about seeing the show because of all the critics and the controversy and stuff, I'd just say go ahead and watch it because I thought it was really great. It has problems, but all the other Marvel shows have problems as well, so, it sort of evens out in terms of comparison to the others. Like, I enjoyed Iron Fist, I would say, as much, maybe more than Daredevil Season 2, but not as much as Daredevil Season 1.
See, that's so funny because you're the diehard Daredevil fan, and all the people I know who aren't Daredevil fans but did watch are in opposite order. They all thought number 1 was pretty much boring, and number 2 was just incredible. And they're all like, oh, Punisher, 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 Punisher.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess my problem with 2 is that it just, about after halfway, it, like, split into the Punisher show and the Daredevil show, but they never actually met up at the end, really, so it sort of felt weird.
Well, other than the rooftop.
Well, that, I meant, like, that after that, it just sort of, like, they just have their own 2 plots, and then I know what you mean. Yep. Yeah,
we meet for that 5 one minutes and then we part ways again.
I think you mean 5 seconds.
Yeah. Well, there was no big Marvel team up.
I feel like Daredevil Season 2 definitely, like, the highlights of that, I think, are the highlights of all the shows. Like, that stairway fight? Holy crap. It is so good, and
my favorite moment of Season 2 of Daredevil is when Kingpin's in it, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, but he stole the show in Season 1 for me. He chewed up the scenery in every scene that guy's in. He is incredible. When they picked him, they hit gold.
I think the high points of Season 2 of Daredevil are higher points than any of the shows. But overall, I think it's probably my third favorite. Mm-hmm. Because the high points of that show are amazing. Like, those first 4 episodes with, Frank and Daredevil, it's just, that could be like a movie,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, enough about Daredevil. So,
let's talk about Hellboy.
Yes, and then Ghost Rider. No, watch the Iron Fist show. We will be doing a full spoiler review episode on that next week, where we will also be
send us questions, or your thoughts, or what you hated, or what you loved, or the one scene you've watched 14 times in a row. Let us know.
Yeah, we'll be reading out and responding to all that stuff.
And we all know that scene starts with 1948 on the screen.
I'm really looking forward to doing that episode. It should be good. But I've also been looking forward to doing this episode too, because we are covering the first issue of the new Iron Fist series, and then we'll be covering Power Man and Iron Fist 14. But let's start off with Iron Fist number 1, which came out this week.
Yay.
So, there's a few covers for this one.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, my favorite cover, or my second favorite, is, like, the original cover, the non-variant one.
The one with the 2 glowing fists in the jump tracksuit, but it's the tracksuit with the collar.
Yeah. And he's punching towards, like, what looks like a bunch of swords, but it's just, I think it's a really awesome cover. It's really well drawn.
My issue with this cover is the ass-looking logo in the middle of the word Iron Fist. I hate logo. I hate that logo with a passion.
It's very early 2000s.
Well, isn't that version of the logo almost identical to, I believe, a skateboard company / snowboard company's logo?
No idea.
I think it is, which is one of the reasons why I hate it.
I like it. I don't know why. It just reminds me of early 2000s Iron Fist. But each to their own, I guess. I don't know. It just makes it stand out for me.
What I thought was interesting was the first page of the comic featuring
the variant.
The logo again is one of the variant covers. I thought that was odd. I've never seen that before.
That's the variant I bought as well, actually. It's the only one in Australia that I could find besides the ridiculously expensive $100 Alex Ross variants.
That makes no sense to me. How could you not find the hip-hop variant? Boy, that was like 1 to 5. But you could get the 1 to 25 variant.
I couldn't find it. I found the hip-hop variant for the first PM&IF and Iron Fist. I bought that. Mm-hmm. But could not find it. This 125 one and the original cover, that's all I could find. And the Alex Ross ones. But I'm not going to pay $100 for an Alex Ross Iron Fist drawing. You know? Like, I think Alex Ross is good. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think he's that good. Not $100 comic book cover good.
So there's 2 Alex Ross covers, a colorized and a black and white.
Black and white.
There's 2 Venomized Scott Campbell, or whoever, where he's got like Venom fists for hands. There's the color version and the negative version, which is looks like a negative to a photograph. There's, I don't know who did the other one, the fully painted one where he's like on his tiptoes but sitting, crouched down with his head down and he's all bloody.
Oh,
it's a gorgeous cover. There's 2 versions of that. There's 3 versions of the recreation of the first appearance issue with Deadpool in the back of 2 of them. So we're already at 6, 7 covers. Plus the normal cover is 8 cover. Plus the, what I like to call it, the Battle Axe logo chest cover here, the 125. Now we're at 9. Then we have the hip hop. Now we're at 10. Then we have, we think, what I discovered yesterday, there is a Fan Expo variant. So we're like up to 11 covers again for number 1. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. But I do like a few of these variants. Didn't Kerry Andrews do the hip hop variant?
Yes.
Yep, yes, and I really like the Marvel Premiere 15 variant. It's got him in, it's the cover to Marvel Premiere 15, which is his first appearance, if you Philistines don't know. And he's fighting off hand ninjas instead of karate people. And he's wearing the jumpsuit with the collar as well. Mm-hmm. So it's like a new modern version. Hand ninjas might be a reference to the show. I did it again. I said,
It's alright. You're known for it.
Okay.
I'm going to get you a shirt that has it written across the front chest.
Oh, amazing. I don't like how they put Deadpool in the background. I'm sick of Deadpool being, he's funny, let's put him in the background. Shut up.
Unfortunately, Deadpool has now surpassed Spider-Man in popularity in the Marvel Universe, so we're not going to see less of him anytime soon.
You know, I remember when being a Deadpool fan was suffering.
Mm-hmm.
It was called the Daniel Way era. My God. I cannot believe I read that entire run. Cannot believe it. He is the worst thing that ever happened to the character. Luckily, the Posen and Dugan, I probably didn't pronounce that right, run was really awesome. So
I had the first couple appearances. Well, I have every single Deadpool appearance down in my collection, starting from his first appearance in New Mutants all the way up to the whole Agent X thing.
Yeah.
I can't even explain that storyline.
It was a bit confusing, but yeah. I really liked the Agent of Weapon X storyline. I thought that was fantastic.
But then after that, and they restarted Deadpool for the umpteenth time because I don't understand why a character that was so popular in the books kept stopping. Made no sense to me. Like, why is this just a continuous book?
He didn't pick up that much until Daniel Way's run, really.
Well, was the Daniel Way's run the one where he teams up
it's
with
complete garbage.
Iron Fist, Power Man and Iron Fist for like 1.5 issues?
No, that's Cable and Deadpool.
Oh, okay. Then I have that entire run also.
Cable and Deadpool's good. Yeah, so, I'm going to stop here because I could go on for a long time. So I'm just going to...
It's going to be a 4-hour show.
Stop the gravy train here. So what variants did you purchase, Carl? And did you purchase the original as well?
I got the normal cover.
Yep.
I got the 1 in 25 Hatchet chest logo. It's not a dragon, it's a battle axe. And I got the hip hop coming.
Good choices.
And I am trying to secure a few different ones. And I have to be honest, I've been outbid on many of the recreation covers from number 15 there with Deadpool in the back eating takeout food. I've lost a few auctions. Because, of course, none of my local stores ordered, 250 issues to get one of those for free.
Yeah.
And they're actually not free, I believe. I believe they still have to pay, like, the cover, or not the cover, comic book stores for the most part. If you have a large comic book store, at least this is how it works in the United States.
Yeah.
The bigger your order, the bigger your discount. And a good-sized comic book store pretty much pays half of what a comic book sells for retail. Not that that's still a lot of money, because you got to remember, they've got rent, they've got electrical, they've got insurance, they've got employees to pay, so they need that money. So don't think always support your local shop is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Always. Because once they dry up, you're never going to find a variant. You're never going to find the comic you're looking for. You're pretty much going to have to wait until a show even hits your area. And I'm sorry, shows are getting less frequent. And in my area, local comic book shows, the bigger ones are just becoming costume shows. And there's more people selling costume parts and hats and T-shirts and stuff than there is comic book vendors anymore. I remember going to these bigger shows and 70% of the vendors there would all be selling comic books. Now you go to these bigger shows, you're lucky if 10% of the vendors are actually there with books.
It's pretty depressing.
It's all
going downhill.
Mixed media now. Where there's people making vampire fangs.
Yeah. Anyway, I just bought the Battle Axe variant and the original cover.
Do you at least agree with me on the Battle Axe?
Well, I do now that you pointed it out. I mean, I'm kind of annoyed you pointed it out, because I really like the cover, but now I just see a Battle Axe there.
That's for the detail work in that art, which is fantastic. He really half-assed it there, didn't he?
Yeah, it's a bit odd, especially the way it just sort of looks like it's plastered on his chest. It doesn't look like it goes with his chest, but that variant's by Mike Perkins, who draws the interior art for the comic. So yeah, let's get started. So the first title page is that variant, but it's flipped.
Mm-hmm.
So Iron Fist. Daniel Rand was orphaned in the mystical city of Kunlun, or Kunlun, as they're saying in the show, as a child. There he grew up to conquer a series of trials to become the Iron Fist, Kunlun's chief field defender of the innocent. Recently, while away from Kunlun, good one, Danny, living his other life as Danny Rand, Kunlun was attacked and destroyed, severing his connection to Kunlun's chi and powers. Now, if you want to get up to speed on all that, go read Kerry Andrews' The Living Weapon, which we have talked about a bit on the show already.
That's
that's
a book, all right.
But right now, all you need to know is, Kunlun's gone. and his chi is not really up to notch. It's not really working, which contradicts the ending to Leaving Weapon, where his chi was working. But, you know, I mean, if they have a creative vision, they can afford to make little changes in the plot. Doesn't matter that much, because Kerry Andrews is doing a sequel to Living Weapon anyway, so... But yeah, so timeline, rough out to Living Weapon, and I will say, without any spoilers, if you have watched the show, but you haven't read any of the comics, you can still read this.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
This is done for, like, anyone can pick this up and just start reading it, even if you haven't read Iron Fist. Which is a pretty nice change, to be honest. Because previously, to pick up a comic and read it, you had to have read all this other stuff, but with this, you can just pick it up, read it. If you're new to the character, it's all good.
Yeah, great jumping on issue right here.
Yeah. So, Ed Brisson is the writer, Mike Perkins is the artist, Andy Troy is the color artist, VC's Travis Lanham is the letterer, Jeff Dickel is the cover artist, Mike Perkins, Andy Troy, Alex Ross, Kerry Andrews are the variant cover artists. I'm sure there's more. Kathleen Wininski, assistant editor, Jake Thomas, editor, Alex Alonso, Damn You to Hell, editor-in-chief, Joe Quesada, or Quesadilla, as Carl likes to say it. He's not Mexican food, Carl. Chief creative officer, Dan Buckley, president. Alan Fine, executive producer. Should we just start reading the fine print as well?
No.
Yeah, let's not. Okay, on to the first actual page. So, we are in Bulgaria, Varna, and we have a lovely opening here. Really sets the mood. It's raining, the sky is red, it's nighttime, it seems like it's early in the morning, and we have a hooded figure walking towards a really ratty abandoned warehouse. It's really nice detail, water tower in the background, bikes, cars. I don't know, it really sets the scene very well for this issue, I think, in terms of tone, colour.
Yes.
And
then we go into the warehouse, and it's a large gathering of... Do we even see any females in this crowd until we get to the big boss man? I don't think so. So it's just a huge gathering of sweaty, screaming, grungy men. On that second panel, I think Napoleon Dynamite is the second guy on the right. We see a person standing out a little bit in the third panel as a fight is going on the left-hand side, wearing a red shirt that will come into play later. And basically what we see is a crowd of people watching an underground MMA fight. It's
pretty much, underground illegal fighting, Valley Tudo, whatever. And, it's illegal to the death. A lot of them are as well, which we'll find out very soon. So, smelly, underground fight club, very rainy, cold, probably. And we have these two guys sort of fighting in the background. The art is very gritty.
But good.
I think gritty's... Oh, yeah, no, it's great art. My God. I mean, look, I'm not going to say the art in Power Man and Iron Fist right now is bad, but it is so not my thing. This so is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm digging it. And
it's
so,
a nice change.
Yeah. The hooded figure with his bag walks up to the big boss man who has two women on him.
One poking him in the chin.
Yeah. He doesn't like that.
No. He's then holding his chin going, "Why did you poke me?"
And this mysterious hooded figure, "I want to book a fight," opens up his bag. Lots and lots of money.
His satchel.
Yep, $1 million. And the guy's like, "Sure, yep, who's your fighter?" And he takes his hood off. What a shock, it's Danny Rand.
You're looking at him.
And, your funeral, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, "Who do you want to fight?"
You
and
also
all these...
notice in the close-up that the big boss man mob guy, or whatever you want to call him, has a tattoo on his face. So I'm not sure if this is supposed to be... Well, we're in Bulgaria, so this could have something to do with Russian mob or something.
Danny looks quite menacing when his hood's up.
Yes.
All the guy's sunken eyes, just staring. But he looks cheerful, Danny, again, when he lifts off the hood.
So the mobster's like, hey, okay, your money, your funeral. Who am I to argue? I have many options available as he's pointing towards all the male meats muscle behind him, which is like 22 guys. Please.
Huge. All look like they're on roids.
Take a look. Which fighter would you like to take on? And back to Danny pondering as he's looking at all the sweaty men.
Look at that guy's head in the middle panel, closest to Danny. It looks like he has been beaten to shit.
Yes,
his
doesn't look like
head
a
is
winner.
Play-Doh. Yeah.
And
Putty head. In the background, we have the two fighters. One has his neck in a hold, and he proceeds to break his neck. So that shows that these fights can be to the death.
Then we have Danny taking off his hoodie, saying, all of them.
Yep, wants to fight all of them.
And then we have the title, finally, The Trial of the Seven Masters.
Part 1. Now, come on, I saw that title, and I was like, yes. This is just... It's going to be some good straight-up kung fu.
But what does that title make you think of?
The Seven Cities?
Exactly. And I don't think that's where this is going.
I don't either.
So I think they should have picked a different number because of what seven entails to that true Iron Fist fans. Couldn't
maybe
have been
seven's
six,
just
couldn't
like a
have been
number.
8. Why can't there be 8 masters? Why can't there be 6?
I'm sure there's a reason there's 7. And if there's not, we'll find out soon enough, I guess. Now, is this issue monthly or bi-weekly?
I have no clue. That's a very good question, and Rebecca, I'm sure, could answer that.
Yeah. But she's not with us right now.
No.
So, okay. Well, yeah, so Trial of the Seven Masters Part 1. And between each panel, there's written by Ed Brisson, illustrated by Mike Perkins, colors by Andy Troy, letters by VC's Trayton Lanham, and Travis Lanham, sorry. But yeah, in all the panels in between these is Danny, is kicking a dude in the face in the first one, breaking a dude's arm in the second one.
Looks like he's kicking the dude's face off.
And that's true.
And that other guy in the second panel is not making a happy face.
No, he is not. Well, his arm's been broken, so... And the third guy getting palm struck to the chin, and looks like the last guy's getting elbowed in the face. Crunch, something broke there.
Some teeth are shattering and flying through the air.
Yeah. So we cut to the next page, and everyone's on the ground, and Danny's just standing there. And one guy looks like he's dead. I don't think he's dead.
With the eyeball open up.
Yeah.
I think that could be the, oh my god, I can't feel my legs face.
Yeah. And then in the next panel, which is a great panel, but in the next panel, he's like, you son of a bitch, you cheat, I have no fighters left, none. And now that you think I'm just going to let you walk out of here?
Basically, yeah. What? Who are you? Why did you come here? I was looking for something. Say that
what are you looking
in your
for?
worst edited kung fu movie voice. I was looking for something.
Yeah.
What were you looking for? Whatever it was, it is not here.
Yeah, pretty much. And he just leaves.
And then we have a shot of a plane.
And there's that guy in the background, I think, again in that last panel. He's not...
I'm going to say yes, even though his shirt's not red, but because of the haircut, I'm going to say it's the guy we first got a 2-panel glance at. In the
He could have put on a coat, or it could be the lighting as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we cut to a plane, and there's Danny sitting next to this older guy, and he's like, "You've been to Cambodia before?" And he's just talking about how he...
That's Karl Kolchak.
No, it's not. I know you want to believe it is, but it's not. I'm sorry, Carl. But yeah, he's talking about how he used to live in Cambodia, and I'm assuming he served in the war when he was
he
young.
Definitely is dropping facts that he was there for the war.
Yeah.
And now that he couldn't, in a nutshell, while he was serving over there, all he wanted to do was get away from it. But now that he's retired, he can't stop thinking about Cambodia,
he feels...
he wants to go back just one last time to see it.
Which is obviously supposed to be a parallel for Danny and Kunlun.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Danny decides to go to the bathroom while the other guy decides...
Of course he has to go to the bathroom. His left ear is sliding down his neck. And
when
when
God.
that happens, you should immediately get up and go to the bathroom and put it back where it belongs.
I didn't notice that before, but looks pretty horrific. And no, it's just the art, guys. His ear's not actually sliding down his neck, but the art makes it look like that.
And then the next panel, the guy's looking at his ear laying in the seat. Like, oh my god. Is that a freaking ear?
So we cut to Danny in the bathroom. He's looking in the mirror. My name is Danny Rand, Iron Fist. Then the mirror's reflection turns into his outfit. And his current outfit, I guess, has replaced the white and gold one. Thank God. Which is the Kerry Andrews jumpsuit with the collar.
No. Oh, this you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, this isn't exactly it either, though.
It's pretty much the same, though.
Because Kerry Andrews had the stripes down the side like the Bruce Lee outfit.
Oh, yeah. No, this one still has stripes.
Does it?
It looks like it on the first one, anyway.
But champion of Kunlun, and then he's splashing water in his face. A living weapon, at least I used to be. Now I'm not so sure.
The middle panel, it has Kunlun in ruins behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. So we go to another fight club, and Danny's sort of inner monologuing while he's letting this huge guy with brass knuckles.
Makeshift Wolverine stubby claws.
Just wail on him. And he's saying, I'm disconnected. I can feel it. All these tournaments, every opponent. I've been trying to push myself, test my skills, trying. The truth of it is, I've yet to be pushed or tested, yet to face an actual challenge. Even when I let them knock me around, let them wear me down, there's no one who comes close to pushing me. And throughout all this, Danny's just letting himself get the crap beaten out of him by this huge guy in the middle of this ring. And there's that red shirt again.
Yep.
In the first panel and the bottom one as well. But yeah, as I said, the art's really good. Very visceral.
And the guy goes in for the double-fisted killing blow because Danny's on the ground and he rolls out of the way.
Kathum.
And then Danny pretty much dispatches him in 5 hits and turns him into a cripple for the rest of his life, who now drools in a cup.
With flipping.
Yes.
And Danny remarks, I feel like I'm always punching down. It feels empty. And the background's just, there is no background at this point. It's just red color.
Mm-hmm.
And Danny's just kicking the crap out of him. And yeah, he breaks his leg. Yeah, he turns him into a cripple. He throws him into the ground, and the ground, like, shatters. Are they on dirt or cement? I don't know. I was thinking about this for way too long while I was reading it. I'm like, is that dirt? Everyone's cheering, and Danny's looking at the crowd, and he remarks to himself, it feels false. I feel false. And there's like a little spotlight on Danny in the bottom panel, and everything else is black. Like he's on stage. He's like I'm going
hands.
Like I'm going through the motions, like I'm someone else, and I can't find my way back to who I was. So, I mean, we've gotten the picture at this point, really. For months now, he's felt it slipping away. He's tethered to the chi of Shaolao the Undying, his connection to Kunlun, everything that made him who he was. And there's a picture of Kunlun burning in the snow, and he's trying to ignite his fist, and you see, like, little
and he gets a
flames.
Flicker. That's about it.
Yeah. But, yeah. And he's, if I'm no longer Iron Fist champion of Kunlun, then who am I? Now, obviously, with this, just, you know, don't get too continuity thing, because obviously at the end of Living Weapon, he was happy. But, you know, you can just assume this is some point after Living Weapon. Maybe things have just gone to bad again. Or he's just having another midlife crisis.
I think we're going to find some type of block.
Yeah. And yeah. So he's seeing, he's in this really dirty apartment as well.
Yeah, with the money everywhere. He's getting upset. He throws
like he'd find in like a modern drug crime drama movie.
Yeah. While he shoots up heroin.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing missing is him looking for a vein between his toes.
Yeah, goddamn, then he really would be Orson Randall.
Yeah. That's what I was almost going to comment. It's almost like he's becoming Orson Randall.
Well, I wasn't going to comment on that yet, but I will be commenting on that soon, because
my whole life has been about this, about Kunlun. My mother and father, they gave their lives so that I could become who I am. It can't be over. I'm not ready for it to be over. Not yet. As he throws the bag of money across the room, sending
and then we get
bills everywhere.
Danny, he's in Vietnam at this point. He's just walking through the dingy streets, which I love this scenery.
That's a great panel.
It is so awesome. I say this a lot, but it reminds me of old school. I don't know, just sort of
reminds me of old school heavy metal, and I don't mean the music. I mean the magazine.
Yeah,
it's the type of artwork that would appear in that book.
Like the old school kind of pulp stuff, like Indiana Jones stuff, where they'd end up in places like Madripoor, stuff like that. But yeah, and Danny's walked into this bar. He's asking for whiskey on the rocks in the bottle, and they're speaking Vietnamese at this point. Now, I cannot read Vietnamese, just the comic pointed that out to me.
I don't know why he knows it.
Danny? I mean, Kunlun in the comics has before been implied to know a variety of Asian martial arts.
It's a mixing pot.
Yeah, so they've referenced, Taekwondo which is completely incorrect because Taekwondo didn't come about till later. But anyway, they've mentioned other styles that are not from China in Kunlun before. So yeah, him knowing Vietnamese is not a stretch to me.
And of course, being in a Vietnamese bar that is populated by foreigners,
and some white person.
You can see a lot of what looks like tourists there. You have the lady of the night making an offer, and he is not interested. No, thank you. The Iron Fist does not protect me from that.
Yes, he doesn't actually say that.
And he's taking a seat and chugging on what looks like it's supposed to be a bottle of Jack Daniels without saying it's Jack Daniels, because then he would have to probably pay advertising fees or some crap. And then we hear a mystery voice.
You won't find what you're looking for in that bottle. I said nor am I here to offer similar comforts. It's the man in the red that we've been seeing this whole issue. Now, this is where I wanted to point out that Danny was really channeling Orson.
Well, you didn't tell him to F off.
Oh, well, he's in this dive in some foreign country.
Bottle of booze. All he needs is a pack of cigarettes.
He feels like Orson Randall's stuck in a pulp noir. I at this point, I'm like, he even looks a bit like Orson Randall.
Yep.
Which is very haggard. And I am totally on board with that, by the way, because I love Orson Randall. In fact, who doesn't love Orson Randall, really?
I won't go into that.
Well, you don't love Orson Randall?
Oh, no, I have no problem with Orson Randall. The problem, it seems to be that Orson Randall is also white.
Oh God, I haven't even heard anything about that. But anyway, Orson Randall, for you guys who don't know, is the previous Iron Fist, who is currently deceased.
Right, who also ran from his duties, but ran so far and so hard, and took to actually taking illegal drugs to block his connection to the power of the Iron Fist. So it was believed that he had died. He basically fooled them, which opened up the Iron Fist tournament again to make another. And if you actually read the older books, which they do not discuss a lot anymore, nor do they discuss it at all in the television series, the next Iron Fist should have been who?
Wendell Rand.
Right. And why?
Because he won the tournament.
And where was Wendell Rand born?
He was not born in Kunlun.
Yes, he was.
Was he? No, he wasn't. Orson found Wendell.
No.
Orson was born in Kunlun.
Oh, you're right. I'm confusing them.
Yeah, no. Wendell wasn't born in...
Right. Orson was born because his father was the crazy-ass inventor.
Yeah. Yeah, who crashed his crazy blimp machine into Kunlun.
And then, all right, then I don't know either why Danny is called the half-breed all the time.
Because
Because I always thought
Wendell,
it was because since Wendell was born in the city, he was considered an actual citizen of Kunlun.
Wendell got adopted.
Right.
Wendell got, because basically, I actually just read this because I'm currently reading through the old PM&IF series, and I just read this. Shaolar went crazy, went out of its cave and nearly killed the previous UT and his son, which is the current UT, and Wendell saved them by shooting at it to distract it, and it just left. It was odd, but yeah, so the old UT decided to adopt Wendell, not only adopt Wendell, but make him his heir, which is why the current UT turned into such a
right, because he shouldn't even have been the UT. It should have went to Wendell.
Yeah, and essentially...
And when Danny showed up again, Danny was also now an heir, because I guess it works more like the English royalty.
Yeah.
Where number one son is the top heir, and if number one son has a kid, number two son is now the third heir.
Yeah. Yeah, and it explains why UT had tried to have Danny killed a lot and stuff like that. Yep. And look, I'm going to say, the murder and everything went a bit far, but I'm not on board with the decision to make Wendell the heir. I think that's pretty... he saved your life, you can adopt him, awesome, but making him the heir to the Immortal City, god damn, the dude is white. He wasn't even born there, he came in when he was like 20 years old. But, yeah. Then Wendell left because, his woman died. Killed by plant people. Damn plant people.
I thought it was more than that. I thought not only was it the plant people, but it was also what went down with Davos.
Yeah, it was that, and it was the plant people. It was a combination of both, I guess. He just got sick of it. But anyway, back to this.
All right. Whatever it is that you're offering, I'm not interested. Oh, I think perhaps you might be. No, all I'm interested in is sitting here and drinking this bottle of whiskey and feeding tomorrow's hangover alone. It's unsettling to me, Daniel Rand, that a man who has been given your talents, you know who I am, who chooses to waste them like this, drinking himself into a stupor, fighting against opponents not worthy to stand in the same ring as himself. And he
takes his bottle of Jack and he throws it behind him.
Gets right up in his face.
Danny's full on Orson right now. He's like, you just stole my booze, my hooch. In this dive on the other side of the world, I'm gonna kick your ass. So yeah, they're staring at each other, and it's like watching a lion step into the ring with a kitten. Both may be the same species, but they are not the same beast. You are meant for more than this.
And then he tsunami death strikes.
Yeah, palm, which is like a palm into his chest, and Danny goes flying.
Which in a kung fu movie would always then leave the handprint in like blood, speckled blood spots on the opponent's chest, and then they would die like 2 days later, unless somebody put a medicine patch on like their chest and back and put them in a room for them to sweat it out.
Well, there'd also be a close up of the eyes of the person who did it. Like it would zoom in.
Yes, as they squinted.
Yeah.
So this sends Danny flying backwards, shattering furniture and whatnot, because you see bits and pieces of wood flying in different directions.
He's like, hey, that hurt.
And then we have the typical hand gesture, come at me, done in every martial art movie on the planet.
How long has it been since you fought a legitimate opponent? Since you've actually stood against someone who might present a real challenge? Danny's like, honestly, too long. So they start going at it. Danny does an upward cannon punch to his chin. Then he gets hit with a side shadow kick. Then Danny does a bird beak strike, which looks like a finger strike to his temple.
No, it's with the first knuckles.
Ah, right. And Danny gets tripped up by a tiger tail sweep. And then he retaliates with an upward lightning strike. And they keep fighting. There's this crazy kung fu going on. And then he blocks Danny's last strike and goes, halt. I have no doubt that if we were to continue, you would defeat me. You are a great warrior, a true champion. That is why I've been sent for you. Who are you? My name is Choshin. I come from the island of Lishi. Oh man, I'll probably butcher these pronunciations.
That's, I was going to say Lishi, but hey, whatever.
By the way, the name, last year I looked this up, and it's a mountain in the Kunlun mountain range.
Ooh.
It's like one of the highest peaks.
Look at that.
But I think it's just a name drop. I don't think it's actually going to be a mountain, as we'll find out soon.
The thing you are searching for, Daniel, you will not find it here. Here you will only find disappointment and dissatisfaction and maybe herpes, while your powers continue to atrophy. Who sent you for me? Why? Now they're just sitting at another table across from each other talking. Like nothing just happened. We didn't wreck half the bar at all.
Well, the people were still kind of looking at them for a while, and now they're just sort of going back to their business.
I've come to make you an offer, to extend an invitation. Come with me to Lai Shi or Lo Shi or
oh man,
Shaka Khan, whatever it is.
Oh god.
Where's the word bubbles we used to get in the bottom of the comics for pronunciation? You're invited to participate. All right, fans, tell me if this doesn't sound familiar. You're invited to participate in a tournament against those whose skills are equal to your own in a place where Kung Fu is held above all else. Wait a second here. Are you telling me there's a guy with one hand? No, he doesn't say that. Wait, you expect me to just shrug my shoulders and follow some stranger off to an island I've never heard of? Is that what you think is going to happen here? Yes. Well, okay then, let's go.
Pretty much. That's what I was thinking. Like, why don't you just say yes? Like, it seems like a pretty good deal.
Nothing better to do. Is there booze there? Why, yes, then I'm there.
Then we get the typical, or you can stay and, wallow in this instead of answering questions about your self that you don't fully understand, blah, blah, blah. Or you can come with me.
Yes.
And next panel, the boat.
Yes. The last page is taken almost directly out of Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
If this got any more Enter the Dragon, John Saxton and frickin' Jim Kelly would be standing next to him on his boat.
Yeah. And he goes, welcome to, do not know how to pronounce the name of this place, Lushi. But, oh my god, how awesome is this last page?
It's I don't even know how to say. The artwork's fantastic on this last page. The details on the boat and the sail and the sunset coloring is very impressive. My biggest problem with the last page is it almost looks like they're going to the tower in Lord of the Rings.
I got a more Kunlun vibe from it, really.
With the evil eyeball up there.
I don't know, I really like it. I like the tower, I like the all the islands surrounding it and stuff. It's gotten me really excited for the next issue, that's for sure.
Oh, it's definitely going to be
heading
interesting.
Up to
I want to see who these 7 masters are going to be and is he considered a master in this or not?
Yeah. And, so Danny is arriving at this on where the tournament takes place. And, yeah, that's the end of the issue.
Lots of action.
It was
something we're not used to.
And then the next issue has an awesome cover. And is it me or does it look like a bit like Finn Jones?
I can't see that. So I don't know.
You can't see it?
No.
Right. Yeah. So I really liked that issue. I had problems with it, but I'll talk about the positives first. I really liked it. It felt like a martial arts comic.
Definitely.
It feels more like a martial arts comic and less like a superhero comic, which I'm a big fan of, because I feel like Marvel really needs more diversity in terms of genre in their comics, because we remember in the 80s and the 70s, well, I mean, I wasn't born then, but you read stuff from there and they have all these different genres. They had sci-fi, they had western, they had horror. Now it's just the same superhero genre, but this is like feeling like a kung fu book. This feels a bit like a, Masters of Kung Fu book.
Oh, trust me, I would love if the horror books came back. Those were some of the best books they had going, in my opinion, at that time.
Yeah. But yeah, I was a big fan of this issue. Yeah, I really got Orson vibes. He was in a shitty bar in Vietnam, he was drinking, except I guess it's a bit of a twist because he's looking to get his chi back, whereas Orson was doing this to get rid of his chi. Yeah. And, you know, Danny's using it.
Orson was on the run for like 50 friggin' years.
Yeah.
Before Danny found him. How do you think Orson was paying the bills? This is what Orson was doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I got huge Orson Randall vibes, and I think that's deliberate.
I would like to think so.
Or is it coincidence? Yeah, I'd like to think so. It might be coincidence though, but it feels a lot like Orson to me. But like it feels like I'm, you know, especially when he's in Vietnam, it feels like I'm reading like an Orson Randall comic. Not that he's had many; he should have many.
Yeah,
but,
he should have.
Yeah.
I honestly, I actually got into this with David Walker, the current writer of Power Man and Iron Fist, on Facebook about this. And, cause of course the whole thing was raised about, you know, Iron Fist being white. And he commented that the next Iron Fist should be Asian. And I had to come in and say, the next Iron Fist is Asian. It's a little Asian girl, because there's currently two. There's Danny, and is her name Poe or Pi?
Pi.
So Danny and Pi are the current Iron Fists. So right now we have two Iron Fists. We are going to get a series of both of them together soon from Carl Andrews, which I'm very looking forward to.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, Danny training her.
And then I had to drop the knowledge that there's been 67 Iron Fists currently, including Pi. She is the 67th. 2 of them have been white. And there should be an Iron Fist book. Because
I thought Danny was the 67th, because there was 66 before him.
No, he's 66. He's the 66th Iron Fist. So Pi is the 67th. And there literally should be like a Iron Fist Chronicles or something like that. In a nutshell, you've pretty much got 6,000 years of Iron Fist history.
I mean, some of the best parts of the Immortal run was those issues that were just like, there would be an issue every few issues which was just about a previous Iron Fist.
Right, which would touch upon one of the past ones.
And it was awesome.
Why don't we have that series?
I have no idea.
And honestly, I brought this up also, me and you being Hellboy fans, some of his best stories are flashbacks from 40, 50, 60 years ago.
Yeah.
You could do that all day long. And I joked about the stories that could have been written or can still be written. Like, you know, one of an Iron Fist punching out a certain guy because he sold his friend out Jesus for a couple gold coins, or dealing with a pharaoh and why the Sphinx really doesn't have a nose, why Napoleon actually holds his stomach all the time. All this, you could take a history book and just take moments in history and insert different Iron Fists into that storyline and build upon it, and it would be fantastic. How the Great Wall of China is actually from the first time Kunlun, the city, was brought to Earth, like Danny did in that horrible miniseries with Wolverine, because the Iron Fist called the city down to where he was. This happened to be Iron Fist was in China at the time, so Kunlun was brought down, but then it was canceled. But when it was canceled and it went back, it left one of its retaining walls. So that's how most of the Great Wall happened. And then say like the Emperor liked the idea, so he continued to build upon the wall. You could do stuff like that, which would be fantastic.
Well, you could just use it for different genre stories. Like you could go back to the old Golden Age pulp style of like Lobster Johnson and Hellboy, except with Orson Randall, which they have done before. Where you can go like to like a Western genre, which kind of, because there was that very brief appearance by the Iron Fist with the poncho.
Yep.
Before he died. And there's so much you can do, but no, we have like 6 Avengers
really
books.
Disappointing that we get introduced to this character just for the demon to come kill him.
Oh, this guy's awesome. Oh, he's dead.
Dead.
Yeah, but there's this, but no, we have 6 Avengers books, and Marvel's never going to do anything like this. If we want something like this to happen, we got to get Iron Fist over to Dark Horse, because they do something like that. They would have an Iron Fist series,
Never happen. They'd have 3 at the same time, all in different time frames.
It'd be amazing.
There'd be library edition hardcovers that came out every 4 months.
Yeah. But I'll talk about a negative for this issue. I feel like they really could have cut down, like, everything before the bar, they could have cut down a lot, I think. You didn't need that much page time to give Danny a situation. That could have been done in, like, one fight.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't need to have 2 fights and a plane ride to cover that. Danny feels like crap, and he doesn't have the power of the Iron Fist because Kunlun's gone. And, he's just fighting to get it back. Like, that could have been covered in just a couple of pages.
See, what I'm struggling with is, since when is Kunlun? What powers him? Kunlun in the Tree of Life never really had anything to do with his power before. It had to do with Shaolin or Shaolu the Undying.
Wasn't that covered in Living Weapon, really?
I think it's just brought up that now that it's destroyed, you have no power, but they don't really explain what that had to do.
I think that's, honestly, because it got resolved in Living Weapon, I think that for this book, it's just a plot device. I don't think it's anything we're supposed to put too much thought into. He's just not feeling the connection to Kunlun, so he doesn't have the Iron Fist. And I agree, like, I don't think Kunlun didn't need to be there for him to have his powers.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have to read Living Weapon again to look at it properly. Like, I did reread the end of it after starting this issue, because I'm like, wait, what? But, yeah. It could be like just on Danny's end mentally as well. Like, he's trying to get, because the power is still there, we've seen it. He's trying to get into a fight so he can get into a fight that he needs to use it, yeah. So, like, he said ever since Kunlun's gone, or now that Kunlun's gone, I can't seem to access. So it might not be because Kunlun's in the state it is right now. It could just be because of the way he feels.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll find out as we go on. I don't think it's going to be brushed over.
What have all those people done that since he sent them back through the gate?
I mean, I'm assuming they're still there building and stuff. As I said, like, you don't want to bend your head about the continuity in this book, because while it does take place after Living Weapon, you got to assume it just takes place at some weird point in time after Living Weapon where he just doesn't have his chi for some reason. I don't think it's a direct follow-up. Because, as I said, it doesn't really mesh with the ending of Living Weapon if you go straight from that to this. But on the plus side, as I said, like, this, you can jump into this without having read any Iron Fist. Especially if you've just seen the show. It really meshes well with the show. Without any spoilers, it meshes very well with the show.
And there's no way they didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah, and we'll go into that with spoilers next week, but yeah. Yeah, and, coincidentally, this came out the week after the show came out. I mean, it's coincidence, right? I don't think it had any deliberate. But yeah, no, I really like the art in this. The writing was good. I mean, it's not like there was much writing. Like, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I am very keen to continue this series.
Not a lot of story, but a good starting point.
Lots of fighting.
If this was a Master of Kung Fu comic in the 70s, this would have been a page and a half.
Yes.
And if you think I'm joking, pick up an old Master of Kung Fu comic book from the 70s and then wonder where 45 minutes just went.
Yeah. Now,
and I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
It's just changed, I guess. There was more emphasis on art than story in this. But the thing is, as I mentioned before, they could have done like the first half of the comic in 2 pages. Even with this style, just have one fight, and then he goes through his mental state and his chi, and that's all you needed. And they could have had...
Then we would have had a 7-page boat ride.
Well, no, you don't need a 7-page boat ride. We could have had him arriving on the island and meeting some of the people before some sort of cliffhanger. That's how I would have done it anyway. But I'm not a comic writer. So
not yet, anyways.
But yeah, that's my only complaint about the issue, really. Otherwise, I really enjoyed it, and I read through it slower than the current PM&IF. This current PM&IF is a lot wordier, but in this, I was just admiring the art and just admiring like the Danny Orson parallels. I just thought there was more to chew on in this book, even though it had less going on.
Speaking
if you know what I mean.
Current Power Man and Iron Fist, let's go right into issue 14.
Yes.
Which my favorite part of the normal cover is, again, of course, there's 2 covers now to frickin' everything. The first cover has what the hell's the kid's name?
Alex Wilder.
Alex Wilder holding up 2 cards with a third card on the table of Danny, Luke, and Senior Magico. He, of course, is still wearing his hoodie, and he's got, like, ghost eyes going, and behind him it looks like spiritual forms screaming in agony with ghost eyeballs also of the 3 of them. Now, my favorite part about this cover is actually the skulls in the background.
Ooh, I just noticed that.
I think that's the coolest part.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's like they're in
the cover
death dimension.
Yeah, so the recap is, let's see. Luke and Danny have been trying to help clean up Harlem, but it certainly hasn't been easy. Alex Wilder came straight from hell to Harlem to re-establish the pride, a once powerful crime family. Through magic and technology, he altered people's criminal records to manipulate them into doing his wishes. Tombstone, desperate after Alex sent Mr. Fish to damnation, as well as having difficulties with Luke and Danny, set a trap. The result was a lot of dead bodies, including Piranha Jones. Alex retaliated by upping the ante, purposely allowing an evil demon to possess him. Harlem is on the brink of war, and Luke and Danny are the only ones that can stop it. David F. Walker is the writer, Sanford Green is the artist, Lee Loveridge is the color artist, VC's Clayton Cowles is the letterer and production, Sanford Green's the cover artist, Catherine Wisniewski is the assistant editor, Jake Thomas is the editor, Axel Alonso, you suck, is the editor-in-chief, Joe Quesada is the chief creative officer, Dan Buckley is president, Alan Fine is the executive producer.
It's nice to see that VC Clayton's getting a lot of work.
Yeah. So 19 days ago, we have Tombstone visiting Black Talon, which is Samuel Barone, and he's getting him to resurrect Mr. Fish, which he does. And Mr. Fish is saying hell sucked, and essentially he's like, I want revenge on Alex Wilder. So they're going to go after Alex Wilder now. And on this,
you just met somebody who can literally pull a dead person from the ether and recreate them. And you don't bring back Piranha Jones either. Screw him. Give me the fish guy.
And it's like, he goes, bringing someone back from the dead ain't no easy task, and he does it in 2 panels. And says 3 words. But it's a really cool, I like the setting, the area, like the hell-looking place, and the 2 ape sapiens in the first panel.
Yeah, where exactly is this supposed to be in New York City?
I have no idea. I'm assuming I have to know more about Black Talon himself to guess where it was.
Because he's in like some odd catacombs thing, sitting on a throne of skulls with zombie lobotomized ape sapien looking like you just said people.
Yeah. And as he pulls Mr. Fish out of hell, he looks like a fetus thing, which I thought was a nice touch as well. He's pulling him out.
And he like recreates him. He's sitting on the floor naked, asking where he is. Now, notice here, Black Talon does not say hell.
Realm of the Damned.
So we still, it kind of hints that the kid went to hell, but then it doesn't.
Well, it said that in the recap. Like in the recap, it said he went from hell to Harlem.
Because there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on in this one.
Well, there's so many hells in Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's just all these different ones. Yeah.
Wasn't there like the 9 rings of hell and Dante's Inferno, and they pretty much run with that there's 9 levels and 9... They might have done that once, but that's not the general impression I've gotten. If they did do the 9 circles of hell, it doesn't have anything thematically. It must just be 9 different areas. But
But yeah, then we cut to 17 days ago and we have Alex Wilder doing magic and science, and the one thing he's trying to brew some sort of potion.
Yeah, he's like levitating the test tubes in the air, which never said he had that power before, but he's ingested a lot of other things, so who knows what's going on.
He's currently got the demon in him.
I also don't understand that, because this is not the Alex we were left with, you know what I mean? He like transformed, and now he's back to looking like completely normal again.
Well, because he's got it under control.
Well, it came out of his body, though. He like hatched himself.
Well, we haven't seen him without his shirt on or anything.
But that's besides the point. Mariah shows up, asks what he's doing. And he's like, "It's finally working, Mariah. Spread the word. We are open for business and selling redemption." And then he shows off his broken fingers in the next panel and says, "And while we're at it, time to totally move our base of operations again. Too many people are looking for us, and we wouldn't want to get found now."
Then it goes to now, the present. So, Senor Magico, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage have burst into what they think is Alec Wilder's hideout, but he's not there. He's always changing locations before they can get to him. And they have to clean up his messes, which is what looks like a bunch of undead people.
Yes.
No Alex, undead zombie people.
But a house full of the shambling undead.
And they fight them.
They punch and kick.
Yeah, they don't kill them.
No, because Senior Magico realizes that there's something afoot here. There's a one page of just a big fight where they're being jumped on and kicks are being thrown, fists are being thrown. Senior Magico is using magic foo or something.
And essentially, Alex is dealing this drug called redemption, which is turning people into these things. And, and Danny remarks that this drug makes MGH look like candy. So they got to get these people to a clinic, and they go to the clinic.
Who is run by?
The night nurse, Linda Carter, not Claire Temple. And
yes, no, I don't.
She's like,
let's not talk about that.
She's like, stop bringing me all these people because there's like no room. She can't treat them. No. Like, there's no cure.
No, I can't remember who is the actual. Is this set up by Doctor Strange or is this funded by Tony?
I have no idea.
So I can't, because this is like the underground place for all the superheroes in like the New England area to go to. And that's what Linda Carter / not Wonder Woman Linda Carter, Night Nurse. Linda Carter, Night Nurse, was around before Linda Carter, the actress, ever put on Wonder Woman's outfit. Just happens to be a huge coincidence. She actually had 2 issues of her own comic called Night Nurse, I believe. I think it only went 2 issues. And did not have anything, I believe, to do with superheroes. They just tried to do a nurse drama comic. And
it didn't really
take off. They didn't really want to lose the character, so they migrated her into Doctor Strange to be a love interest. And then for some unknown reason, they did not put her in the Doctor Strange movie. They changed it to someone else.
Yeah.
So she shows in the room, and there's all these people lined up, all with IVs in their arms, all in beds. And she's completely confused of what's going on. And this is where Senior Magico steps up and says there's magic involved in whatever they're taking also. And it's supernatural, and it's possessing their souls.
Yeah.
A drug that possesses your soul? This just keeps getting worse and worse, says Danny. Yeah, but I think I know someone who might actually be able to help with this. And now, what did you think after reading that bubble?
Doctor Strange.
Or what were you hoping?
I was hoping Doctor Strange, but then I thought like it would be weird if because like they say Doctor Strange doesn't know anything about street magic. I don't know. Who are you helping?
Damien Hellstorm.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that because he's popped up in the Christmas one.
Right, when they said possessing souls, I'm just like, oh, please bring in Damien.
Yeah.
Please, for the love of God, you did it once, do it again.
So we go to Alex Wilder's current base operations, and well, there's not much happening here. They're just talking to each other. Keep the
line moving. We got a business to run, product to sell.
I guess the point of this whole thing is Jenny looks like she's feeling reluctant.
Yes, as Mariah's trying to push more and more drugs out the door because it's become very obvious that Mariah is about the money. Black Mariah wants to get paid.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all it has come down to for her. She doesn't care what they stoop to do it. She just wants the green. And Jenny is realizing that this is not what she wants to do with her life.
Yeah.
And she even brings up questions, and she's just basically dismissed by Black Mariah. Like, shut up, we got it good here. You just do what you're told. And we take care of AWild's business. And then
we go to Alex Wild, who's trying to extract blood from an eldritch horror that's trapped in a box, it seems like. There's a big tentacle coming out.
This is about to be a Japanese porno movie.
Oh, God.
He's got this giant, huge syringe, which is like 3 feet long, which I'm going to guess is one of the things he took from the secret vault from when he battled Senior Magico off page, unfortunately. We still don't know everything he took. I'm going to say this is probably one of them, along with the box, which they basically say that outright later. And he's fighting a tentacle. He's like, just need a little of your blood. And Mariah doesn't seem to be fazed by the giant tentacle.
Yeah.
And Jenny's just like, what the?
And yeah, he's just shoving it back in this box. And he shoves it back in the box and he comes out with this big glowing syringe. Which is more of and that's the drug.
Right,
he's using his.
He's infusing this creature's blood into the drug to make the pills to possess the people. Now, what his plan is with this,
who knows?
We're going to have to wait and see.
And so we cut to PM&IF is visiting Jericho Drum, Dr. Voodoo, who pops up now and then.
Yes. Now, even though this isn't Damien Hellstrom or Doctor Strange, I was still impressed because Dr. Voodoo is still cool as hell.
Yeah, we might have gone Senor Magico too.
Yes.
They've been like, oh.
But I would have loved a little standoff between the two of them. I would have thought that would have been an awesome little 2 or 3 panel thing where they're like, getting each other's face.
Well, Dr. Voodoo's a serious character though.
Yes.
Like, Senor Magico's a fat dude. Who's like comically powerful.
I think Senior Magico should like run his business out of a taco cart. That would be awesome. Or a food truck. But it's all filled with magic books. And he's got the window open. He's just hanging out there. Hey, how's it going? What, you need a curse removed? Come here.
So they're visiting Dr. Voodoo. And he's saying that rumor has it that Alex Wilder brokered a deal to get out of hell.
Yeah. Dr. Voodoo already knows who the dude is.
Yeah.
Knows who he is. Knows what he did. Upon hearing about the drug. Knows how it has to get made. So, Dr. Voodoo is not messing around when it comes to knowledge.
And he says that he's got the Demon of Redemption, which is the rarest of demons from the realm of the damned. And legend says that the creature's blood can be used to ease the suffering of those condemned to hell, like a narcotic. And, so Luke's like, so you're saying he's selling demon blood. If it's true that Alex broke the deal to get out of hell, he would have had to have offered something in return. The blood of the redemption demon would have a different effect on the living man than those in damnation. It would look like possession, and in time it would become just that. He still doesn't know how anyone could capture a demon, though. And
then Luke drops the little tidbit about the trouble they had with him the trouble they had earlier with the Super Soul Stone.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Voodoo's like, what? Wait, you're saying Alex Wilder has the Super Soul Stone? And he attacked Senior Magic or stole the stone and other things, a walking stick and some kind of box. We don't know what he took or why. So we don't know if that was the walking stick, is the needle thing, and he's just confusing it. We'll have to wait and see because it's not told in this issue. But upon hearing this information, the Voodoo is like, damn, the young fool's actually trying to do it. Street Magic, Alex Wilder, is trying to become the Grand Master of Street Magic.
Dun, dun, dun.
Big, giant face shot. Now we have Mr. Fish back in all his fish gear with his goggles and tubes running into his mouth off of his chest thing from the Sand People in Star Wars.
He's hanging out with Tombstone, and they're trying to look for Alex Wilder, but they haven't found him.
Yeah, all they're finding is rooms full of junkies and pills.
Yeah. And so, then we cut to Alex.
And Mr. Fish wants to rip his spine out and beat him with it.
Yeah, he's feeling pretty violent.
I don't know if he can actually do that, but who knows?
I have no idea either.
And then we have Alex looking at himself in the mirror. It's finally happening. It's all coming together. Mom and Dad. They'd be so proud of what I've been able to do, how I've honored their legacy and built upon it. I was trapped in hell. It totally sucked. But I figured if there was a way out, I'd find it. And then it shows like Alex sitting at a table with a gangster, a Genghis Khan looking guy, and a dwarf Viking dude. So I listened and learned until I knew what needed to be done. I could get out of hell. I could return to Earth, and I could have it all. Power, money, and most importantly, I will steal the souls of millions. You talking to yourself again, boy?
The demon, he's having this conversation with the demon inside of him, and he opens his shirt, and the demon's face is like where his chest is.
Yes.
And they're pretty much arguing with each other, and the demon is saying, look, don't go crazy like all the others, because we have big plans. And Alex is like, I'm fine. You gave me the strength I needed to capture the redemption demon and the magical spells to extract its blood. But the demon's warning him it takes a toll, and he made a deal, and Alex also made a deal with the devil himself. So, soon he'll be able to mass produce the drug, though.
And he walks into the other room and yells, "Oh no, swear word. What's wrong, boy?" Because, that thing can't see.
Only sees chest height.
The box, it's totally gone. So the box with the demon is now no longer in the lab room Alex was using to produce the drug. And where is the box exactly? He's screaming for Mariah. And in the next panel, we see that Jenny has it in a bear hug, and looks like she's scooting down an alley. Yeah,
Jenny's decided to book with it because this stuff is obviously very bad. And Jenny used to be PM&IF's secretary, so
Mariah,
and she's in the old comics a lot because I've been reading them lately, and she pops up a fair bit. So
So Mariah runs to Heroes for Hire, and Shattuck, Mangler, Daniels.
Jenny runs to Heroes for Hire.
Yes, Jenny, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, and Mangler answers the door, and she just runs in. I need to see Luke and Danny. And he's like, I tried to stop it.
I'm only 400 pounds and 6'8".
Yeah.
She's like a good 5'6".
And Luke essentially goes, you got some nerve showing up here after everything you pulled. And, so Jenny's filling him in on how Alex Wilder's crazy, and Black Mariah keeps pushing him to be crazier and do more. And Ironfield's like, what's in the box? And she's like, I don't know. Something evil, though. He's making this drug using the blood of the demon. I know it sounds crazy. You have no right to believe me. I lied to you. Stuff like that. And
then she does what everybody should do.
She
I
opens
don't know
the box.
what's in this box. It's got a demon in it, apparently. Big purple tentacle. I'll open it right here.
And it drags her into the box, and Danny just jumps into the box, and his 2 feet are sticking out. And he jumps in after her. And then Luke goes, "Sweet Christmas," and he grabs onto Danny's feet, and there's like a chain thing going on. Like, Mangler's holding on to Luke, and Mangler's outside of it. Luke's holding on to Danny, Danny's holding on to Jenny, who's being grabbed by this huge freaking tentacle demon.
Yeah, it's monstrous.
Like, we only see, like, the first bit of it, and it has an eyeball, but yeah.
Giant eyeball.
And it's like this weird, funky realm of hell. It's all grotesque and stuff.
I don't know if that's hell. I think that's literally the inside of the box. It's like a box of holding.
I guess we'll find out.
Part TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. Well, I'm
And
like,
to be continued.
how strong is Mangler?
Yeah, don't know if he's strong enough. I don't know. But yeah, that's the issue.
We might be calling Mangler Lefty after this issue.
I'm looking forward to the next one because I like the Mystic stuff.
What my biggest worry is, as far as we know, there's only one issue left.
Yeah, they didn't mention it in this issue, though. And I read the letters page, and they didn't mention it there either.
They do not mention it at all in the letters page.
So it might not be the last one, but I think it is the last one.
I don't have a problem if the book continues, because for one, we know David Walker is not going to be writing the book anymore. David Walker is going to be doing the Luke Cage solo run. And they have just, I think, solicited for issue 2. So David Walker has gone on to Luke Cage's solo book, which is fine. He writes Luke very well. This run has been interesting. It hasn't been the greatest comic on the planet, but at least it's been interesting. But it seems like a lot to wrap up in 21 pages.
Especially with the way that these issues don't really have a lot in the 21 pages a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I think it could be wrapped up in 21 pages.
Yeah, Mr. Fantastic's going to show up and just fix it all with science.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, this series as a whole, I'm not entirely sold on it. I don't think the humor mixes well with the plot. I just don't think it's done very well. And I know it's a bit unfair, but
I don't have a problem with the story. I don't have a problem with the writing. My biggest problem with this book has been pacing.
Yeah, that's probably a better way. Yeah. Yeah, its pacing has been all over the place, and I don't like the art either. I know some people like the art. I'm just not on board with the art.
Though. I don't hate it, but when reintroducing a character that you have a TV show starting on, I wouldn't have went with this style of artist, because I know people who are literally not picking up this book because of the art.
Yeah, same.
And it's like they didn't read any of it. They opened it up and went and put it down and refused. Comic books, I know it's different in Australia, but in the United States, a comic book is at least $4 now. That is pretty much half of minimum wage here. So that's a half an hour's worth of work. That's not even a good example because they take taxes out.
Yeah.
So 3/4 of an hour's worth of work will get you one comic book, and people want something pretty to go along with the reading. Unless you're a diehard fan, then you don't care. You're just happy to see your favorite hero in a book.
Yeah.
So, as much as I don't have an issue with the art, because I'm such a diehard Iron Fist fan and the Power Man Iron Fist fan, I'm just happy to see them back together, working together in their solo book. I mean, if this was drawn by a guy holding a crayon in his ass, I still probably would have bought it. But, again, Luke Cage had just hit Netflix. Iron Fist was about to hit Netflix. And so there was a lot of hype. And you put out a book that is a little bit hard to look at for some people. and you had
Yeah.
diehard collectors weren't picking up the book because of what it looked like, and you had brand new people who've never bought a comic before in their life finding out, oh wait, Luke Cage from Netflix and the new Iron Fist that's coming to Netflix are in a book together. And then I'm hearing from these people, yeah, I went and saw the comic and I picked it up and it looked horrible, so I didn't bother to buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a... If the book does continue, I want them to... If they're changing the writer, I want them to change the artist as well, just to do a completely new look.
No, I also have to be honest with you. A Hellboy BPRD story with his art wouldn't affect anybody because it's the art style they're accustomed to when it comes to Hellboy for the most part.
Art style... no, not Hellboy. The BPRD art style is a bit like this, but it's still a lot better.
But when you get a BPRD... Well, I'm saying BPRD with Hellboy. When you get one of the stories that's all pretty by these artists that are like professional painters, it almost looks odd. Like, I'm not used to this. Where's the angles? Where's the hard edges?
I don't know. Like, I think that like even the worst BPRD art has been a lot better than this. But yeah, well.
But lots going on in this issue. Lots of stuff resolving, finding out a lot of answers. And we'll have to see what happens in 15.
Yep. So, yeah, you can pick up on...
And more importantly, will the last page of 15 say the end?
Yes. I guess we will see. But yes, so you can pick this up at your local comic book store. I'm not sure if is it on Marvel Digital and stuff? You can probably get it digitally, I'm guessing.
I'm pretty sure you could. I don't really know how that works. That's more Rebecca's thing, because Rebecca pretty much does nothing but digital now because she's in a small flat.
Yeah. And you can...
Something I found out is she actually had almost her entire collection stolen in college.
Oh my god.
So that's one of the reasons why
awful.
She does digital now, is because
man,
you can't steal something you own with a login.
Who the hell would do that? That's just wrong. It's bad. Well, that's awful. But you can pick up Iron Fist 1 at a local comic book store and possibly digitally as well. So, yeah. And next week we'll be covering the show, spoiler review. So make sure you send us emails. Email us your reviews. Don't email us full-fledged reviews. That'll take the whole show to read out, though. As someone I know did. And he's like, this might take the whole thing to work, the show to read. And I'm like, alright, well, maybe we'll just do some of it. Yeah, so don't keep it light, but just send us your thoughts, your reviews, whatever. And
what you love, what you hate it.
Yeah. Just don't send, multiple pages of text. One page of text is good. It's fine. But yeah, so until then, may your fists attempt to become unto a thing of iron while you get drunk off a bottle of Jack's in Vietnam.
While fending off hookers.
Yeah. Peace.
Adios.
Iron Fist and all other characters in these comics are properties of Marvel and Disney. Any music or images we use belong to their respective copyright holders. We do this for fun, so please don't sue us. You can contact us at sonsofthedragonpodcast@gmail.com. Just send us mail, comments, thoughts, anything you want, really. It doesn't even have to be related to Iron Fist. If you don't want it read on the air, though, make sure you mention that. You can also find us on Facebook, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast, Sons of the Dragon, our Twitter, at Iron Fist Podcast, our SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Sons of the Dragon, hyphens where the spaces are, our YouTube, Connor and Karl. Just search Iron Fist Podcast and you'll find us real quick. We are also on iTunes. If you find us there, give us a review and rate us. If it's less than 5 stars, please say why so we can improve the show. And we're on Podcast Garden in the literature section, and last but not least, head over to our WordPress, Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast.wordpress.com. That's where I put all the show notes. And I would like to thank Thomas Tissot for letting us use his Iron Fist theme song for the start of our show. And finally, thanks to you guys for listening.